Hi all, this video will give you a few more guidelines for how to work with writing project 3. Just don't forget that it doesn't replace the assignment, so please read the assignment prompt before watching this video. So let's begin with the genre of this assignment. Project 3 is a rhetorical analysis, which means that you will need to look at other people's arguments and pick them apart and see what makes them work or not. Keep in mind that you are not arguing about the issue or the topic that the text discusses. You are just analyzing and evaluating what other people have said and how they've done it. So for example, if you chose to analyze an article from our textbook called How Junk Food Can End Obesity, you will not argue about whether or not it can indeed be done. What you will do is to analyze what kinds of reasons the author gives for that claim, how he supports his arguments, and how effective they are. In other words, the argument that you will be making in this paper is what made your chosen text successful or not in achieving its rhetorical goals. So the first step in this assignment is to choose a text you will analyze. You can choose a text from our textbook. The assignment prompt gives you a list of texts that you can choose from. Some of these texts are personal narratives, some are reviews, and some are more openly argumentative, like the op-eds or proposals. The more argumentative text might be a better choice and a bit easier to analyze, since they're making their argument more transparent, so you might want to take a look at them. But you can also browse through our publisher's Tumblr page. They post links to argumentative articles online with brief previews and study questions. Just make sure to spend some time finding a suitable article. They post a variety of materials. They're not just articles. Some of them are argumentative pieces, like these two examples, but some of them are more of a visual collection. It could be advertisements or a collection of photographs or historical pieces. So that would not be a good fit for this assignment. That's why your instructor will have to approve your choice before you proceed with the analysis. So once you've chosen your text, it's time to start analyzing. The assignment gives you a list of questions to consider in your analysis, such as who the author is, who are the primary and secondary audiences, where the text was originally published, etc. This list covers all of the main elements of a rhetorical situation, but you might also want to come up with your own questions that would be important specifically for the text that you chose. Your analysis should provide answers to most of these questions, but you will decide which ones are most important to your particular text. For example, some of them might not even be relevant if the text you chose does not include any visual components. And again, you will need to decide how to organize them, how to organize your analysis according to the matter of importance and what elements of the rhetorical situation are most important for the analysis and for the paper. And finally, as you start writing your paper, consider your audience. You are writing for other students in the class and the professor, and they might or might not have read the text you're analyzing. Consider how much context and summary they will need to be able to follow your analysis. And make sure not to spend too much time on summarizing, because the main point of the project is not to summarize, but to analyze and compare and contrast. And finally, another important step of this project is the research component. You will need to include at least one popular source and one scholarly source. The purpose for this is to give you, to help add a bit of a more depth to your ideas and your analysis. You can decide what kinds of sources you'd like to bring in and how you'd like to use them. For instance, for your popular source, you might want to find a text in a similar genre or format as your main text and then compare them. Or you can look up another article by the same author or authors. And then see how a connection can be established from there. For your scholarly source, you also have a few options. You can find an article in an academic journal that talks about similar issues as your main text. For example, you can compare how texts in different genres are written for different audiences and might approach the same topic differently. Or you can find a scholarly article that explains in more detail some of the rhetorical concepts that you'll need to use in your analysis. Think back on the sample analysis of the tobacco company website that we read and how it used outside sources. If you're not sure how to start your research, contact your instructor right away. There's help available. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any questions about the assignment or anything else, don't hesitate to reach out to your instructor.